Ho, what's going on, everyone? This is Steve Larson, and you're listening to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. So here's the real mystery. How do real MLMers like us, who didn't cheat and only bug family members and friends, who want to grow a profitable home business, how do we recruit A players into our downlines and create extra incomes, yet still have plenty of time for the rest of our lives? That's the blaring question, and this podcast will give you the answer. My name is Steve Larson, and welcome to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. What's up, everyone? Hey, I'm super excited for this episode. Got something really cool to share with you. This is Secret MLM Hacks Radio, so today I want to share with you a hack. This is something that I have been doing that is honestly all around us, and I just don't think many MLMers think about it, so I want to share with you something really cool. Well, first off, though, you guys got to know, like, I barely graduated high school. That's not a joke. I got straight D's in all of math, all of science, all especially of Spanish, I really, and a lot of times it was like, I got a 60.1%. Like, I'm pretty sure that some of the teachers a lot of times just felt bad for me. And so they would just not, I don't know, they would just let me go on. You know what I mean? Like, I showed up, I was there, I was consistent, I just like never did homework, or if I did, it was just always wrong. Like, there was something in my head that just did not click on for a long time. I had not learned how to learn, you know what I mean? So when I get to the end of my senior year and, and it's time to go to college, right? I had been applying, and these colleges are like, yes, no, no, yes, no, no. It's more like one said yes and all the other said no. But it's pretty fascinating to watch the application process of these colleges, right? Or any kind of institute, or let's say it's you're applying for health insurance or life insurance, or you're applying for, to get into some program, or you know what I mean? It's fascinating because I would sit there and I would write out these applications, and I didn't really want to go to college at that time. I'm grateful that I did. Grateful that I eventually I learned how to learn, and I ended up getting straight A's, which is awesome. And I got one of the entrepreneurship awards for my whole graduating class, which is awesome, in college, which is super exciting. So that was fun stuff. But I had to learn how to learn, which is its own skill, and I just kind of have never stopped since then. But anyway, about the application stuff, though, like, it's fascinating to watch the process that they go through. Oftentimes, right, there is an application fee. So you go and you're filling out this application, and you're showing what you've written to everybody, and everyone's critiquing your essay that you have to apply with it, and everyone's critiquing this and that, and you know what I mean? There's so much stuff that goes into a single application, right? And you sit back and you're like, dang, like, my gosh, I just spent like a week just putting together this application, and they wanted, a fee, and they wanted this, and they're not going to get back to me for a solid while, right? And I don't even know if I got in, and there's no implication yet if I actually got in at all. And like, dang, that's pretty crazy, when you think about that. And so you sat back and you think about it. And you think about it, like, kind of think of it like cynically, almost like, man, you're convincing somebody why they should take your money. That's basically it. I'm glad that I went to college. I will tell you that even though I got a marketing degree, none of what I learned do I actually do. What I learned at college pretty much was to prepare me to become like an analyst at a corporate marketing firm. You know what I mean? And I don't do any of that kind of stuff, which hopefully helps some people who think that they need a marketing degree to do what I do. It certainly gave me an environment to learn. However, I mostly am self-taught. So anyway, but like, back to the application, like, you think about that, you are convincing the other person why they should be allowed to take your money. You're like, what? That's crazy. And it turns, it's a commitment. You're going to be there, only 60% of people even finish college. So these guys are banking some serious money. They're not even having to dish out the actual final thing to you after a while. You know what I mean? And I'm not bagging on the education system. I'm just using it as an example. Think about that, though. Let's think about how we could model that whole process inside of an MLM. Because that's what I've been doing, and that's what I've been putting together more formally. I've had one kind of informally for a while, but as far as formally, though, I've been building out what we call an application funnel. an application styled sales funnel where somebody has to prove to me why they should be admitted into my program. And typically what we'll do is we'll use these funnels for like high-end coaching programs where someone's charging 10 grand or 25 grand or whatever, 50 grand, and the person is trying to convince the coach why they should be allowed into the program, right? And you're like, whoa, wait a second. That is literally spinning on its head the whole sales model. You mean I don't have to know any hardcore sales tactics? Nope. You mean I don't have to know, tricky little one sentence things to say or little tiny, body language things to get them to go crazy and join? That always drives me nuts when other people post that kind of stuff in the MLM world. It's like 5 techniques, 5 things you should say to get them begging to join or something like that. It's like, come on, that doesn't really, How about we actually give real value? You know what I mean? And so that's what I've been doing is there's page number 1, web page number 1. There's it goes through and says, look, I'm only looking for the best of the best elite marketers. If you think that you can, if you want this group, if you want to be part of my downline, which is this group of elitists, who we're very open, very loving, very, it's not that we're judging anybody or anything like that, but there is an application to join my downline. You know what I mean? And so I have a spot where people can do that, and they go through and it says, number 1, hey, let me know if anything, you can just fill out the application and then let's get on the phone and see if you're an actually good fit. And be aware, we do actually turn people away, and so they put their name and their, email and phone number in. And on the very next page, it says, hey, why do you think you should be considered? Another question is like, hey, Steve Larson's crazy busy. Why, what do you think you can offer? We believe in give and take. We'd love to be able to give you all the stuff, but we also need to know what you could bring to the team. Like what is it you bring? Obviously the questions are worded much better than this. I'm just ad-libbing the ones that I'm remembering. But you know what I mean? It says, hey, obviously there's a financial commitment to join the MLM. It does not go to Steven Larson. It goes to the MLM to actually set up your actual entity with them and get your position. Are you okay with that? You know what I mean? It's stuff like that. But there's an application. It's 8 or 9 questions that you go through that helps me see where you are before you join. Isn't that interesting? And it's a totally different set of approach, a completely different kind of approach than what my MLM the first time ever showed, ever. And at first it's like this hardcore, like, it's not that the other tactics of getting on the phone and asking people to join don't work. It's that it takes for freaking ever. There's usually a lot more heartache. I lose more friends doing that. I don't lose any this way, right? And I attract a kind of person when they apply that's awesome. The kind of people who are solving problems in my team that I didn't know that it were there. You know what I mean? And so when you go out and you find a team like that, and then I turn around and I give that whole system, that actual application style system to my downline. And so think about that. I'm not pitching you on joining. I want you to know what I do. How I flip it on its head, right? So page number 1, right? Hey, look, this is only for the elite of the elite. But if you think that you're a marketer that wants to join this, just know that there's application style form. Go to step 2 here, and they put in their email address. Step 2, the next page is a video, and there's an actual application form next to it. And then the third page, after they actually submit the application, is really interesting. It is a form that says, look, obviously, positioning does matter inside of MLM to an extent. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people join what I do, and it's great. It's fun. I like it. So first come, first serve is a huge deal. This is pretty much what the page says. And it says, so if you're really interested and want to skip the line, because we just call people down the line as we get applications, we get several a day, so if you want to skip the line, go ahead, here's the phone number, just call us. And I'll tell you that the people who call you, they're worth like 8 times more than the kind of person that you need to call out for. It puts the sales power back in your hands. Not that you're trying to be domineering again or anything like that, but that's the application style funnel that I put inside there. And there's email automation, there's whole full sequences in the back, and there's all the super sexy stuff, which is amazing, that happens on behind the scenes as well, which is really, really cool. It's just, you got to understand that you're nothing new at first out of the gate compared to everybody else. But man, if you're telling that you can't join unless you apply And when you do apply, you get X, Y, and Z. And I actually created an offer out of applying. Holy crap, that's sexy. So start thinking how you can use that inside your MLM. Start thinking about how you can, what can you do to make, I think it was last episode I talked about scarcity and the different mental triggers that are out there. I think that was last episode. But anyway, start thinking about what you can do to inject. That's one of the ways I inject scarcity and community and authority, right, into my downline. And so start thinking about that. It's like, what kind of person do I actually want to join my downline? Where do I want them to be in their life? What problem sets do I want them to be addressing in their life at that time? If their problem set is that they can't rub two pennies together, they're not probably ready for what I've got. It's not that they can't be successful, but the road is longer. I'm not really looking for that kind of person. I'm looking for the kind of person, right, who is out there, who is who wants to be successful with this marketing, who is interested in putting together marketing systems that amplify their MLM, right? Who actually, you know what I'm saying? And when you do it that way and you approach it that way and you start getting really, really clear on who it is that you want, you'll start attracting those people. And one of the ways that I do it is by making people apply. I want the kind of people who are fighting to join me. Does that make sense? And if somebody I can tell is fighting, but maybe they don't have a lot of experience, that's okay. Then I'll let them join. Or if someone's like, hey, I don't have this experience, I don't have this or this, or, I really am broke or whatever, but I've got passion out the wazoo, that's the kind of person that I want. And I want to be able to vet that person out of the rest of the crowd. Does that make sense? One of the other things that I've been doing, so that's what I do. Then we get them, closed up, and we get them the marketing systems that they need, and I get them started in the success paths that I have, the little blueprints and things like that. And that's how I onboard people. It's totally different than what my MLM provides. Totally different than what any MLM provides. And so that's how I do it, though. What MLM makes you apply to join? They're not that way at all. They're all they're so open that they end up being exclusive. They exclude people. Right? And so instead, what I do is I actually intentionally do that. And I make people apply. One of the things that I've been doing is I'm trying to figure out right now, because I'm building out the more official version of this application styled sales funnel. But what I've been doing is when somebody actually joins, I'm going to take that data, which is going to be so cool, and I'll put it on a Google sheet. That way people can see live. All right, just the first name. I'm not going to give out any personal details, obviously, but I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll embed in a little window on the page, a Google sheet, and you'll be able to see the people who have been applying and those who have been accepted and brought in. And obviously, again, there's going to be no personal data or anything like that shown in there, but how cool to be social proof, right? That's why I'm doing it, so that you can see how close you are to the top. So you can see how fast it's growing. So you can see how fast. Does that make sense? And it causes this ridiculous frenzy. And you're like, oh my gosh, that's so freaking cool. You know what I mean? I'm not going to tell you the MLM. I'm sorry. I'm not going to tell you the URL to it yet. Just in case you guys want to go check it out. Again, I am not pitching. If you love your MLM, my gosh, stay in it. Okay. That's all I'm not here to take sides. That's not at all what I do. I'm here to just share with you what we do inside other industries to make prices increase, to make anticipation go through the roof, to make people beg to join you. Does that make sense? That's why we do what we do, and that's why I'm doing it right now, and that's why I'm sharing with you what I do, because it's crazy powerful. So those are all tools and systems that I use as almost like a reward system. Hey, when you join, have comfort in knowing that this system is also yours. You know what I mean? You don't have to go reinvent the wheel. You know what I mean? So that's how I create myself as that's one of the tons of ways that I create myself as kind of a new opportunity to MLMers. Otherwise, you're kind of the same as everybody else. So you see what I'm saying? So when they're applying, I'll go and through and say hey, by the way, you're going to get this, you're going to get this, you're going to get this, you're going to get this if you get accepted. And we truly do turn people away. So go ahead and apply, and then let's jump on the phone with one of my team leaders or whatever, and we'll answer any questions that you might have and see if it's a good fit. If not, that's okay. And we'll give you a little thank you also and stuff like that. But obviously be cordial about it. We're not saying get lost or whatever. But so that's what we do. That's what I do. That's what I've been building, is the more official version of that, and trying to see if I can get this cool Google sheet to get embedded, so real time you can see the applications coming in. How cool is that? Oh my gosh. So anyway, That's what I've been doing, guys, and that's why I do it. I kind of spin it on its head and turn it into a marketing activity rather than a begging activity, So that's what I felt like the first time I was calling people, or I'd go, I went down Main Street asking people to join or whatever it was. It was like such a, if you had a heartbeat, I was asking, and I wasn't clear on who I wanted. And because I wasn't clear on who I wanted, it meant I was targeting nobody. You know what I mean? And so I had to get real clear. Anyway, I feel like I'm just saying the same thing over and over again now, but that's what I've been doing. So shortly here, when it's done, when a few of the things that I'm waiting for happen, then I'll tell you guys what that URL is, just so that you can see what it is. Again, I'm not. Oh gosh, please just know that I am not here to pressure you at all. I just want to show you what it is that I'm doing, so that you can see it and you can model it in your own, whatever that is. All right, guys, have fun the rest of this day. Go crush it. Go kill it. Remember, if you do what is easy, your life will be hard. It's a good quote. I got a big quote-filled wall, and so sometimes I'll just look up and say one of them. So that's the one I just looked at, okay? If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. Woo! Hey, thanks for listening. Please remember to subscribe and leave feedback. Would you like me to teach your own downline 5 simple MLM recruiting tips for free? If so, go download your free MLM Masters Pack by subscribing to this podcast at secretmlmhacksradio.com.